take the step. Be on your way. Take the step. When you have a dream, you gotta start. It's the only way. If you're gonna shine, and you're gonna shine, shine, shine. You're gonna shine. And we are shining so bright on the ranch. It is like over 100 degrees here, but I love the heat. So it's a great day on the ranch right now. And we are brought to you by Blast Music 24/7, and we are spanning the globe to bring you the best in indie Americana music. And we have friends all over the world helping us out. The Plow Zone in California, my indie radio in Paris, France. We love you guys. We love our radio stations. We have some sponsors: Hotel Universe, everything you need for your video for our indie. Because again, we don't compete with each other, but we gotta look good. Yeah, so tell them Randie sent you, and they're gonna hook you up, and you're gonna look all pro, right? And to the Max Advertising, because you got a brand, you got a brand, you got a brand. All that stuff really, really matters. So we have a great show lined up for you today. And I gotta tell you, I almost didn't wake up. Billy's here already. Howdy, howdy, howdy. This is live, folks. So let us know where you're chiming in from, and we'll be talking to you throughout the show, which always makes it fun. But I almost didn't wake up. I had a big allergic reaction today, and the doctor's like, take Benadryl. I'm like, I'm going to be sleeping this afternoon, but I'm up. I'm perky. I'm here, and I got some fun for you today. Ladies in the house, let's welcome Caroline Parke. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm really good. How are you doing?
Good, good, good. Are you part of the heat wave?
No, unfortunately, we have a risk of frost tonight.
No way. Where are you?
I'm in Alberta, like on the Alberta-Saskatchewan border, like halfway up. But they got like record-breaking rainfall in southern Alberta the last couple days, and my parents had to go to a theater event, and they had to drive through snow.
Last week we had almost record-breaking cold. Like it was raining. It was not summer here at all. And all of a sudden, boom, in one day, we go from that to like 101. We're like sweltering, pools are closing. It's crazy. And you guys are having frost.
Well, I hope not, because all of our crops are up right now. So it's like, well, you guys are Fahrenheit, so I don't know what that would be, like 34 or 35 is the forecast overnight.
Yeah,
so
32 is freezing here.
Yeah. So I think it's a low of plus 3.
Yeah, so 0 for you is our 32.
Yeah. So I'm going to say it's like a low of 35 overnight or something, which is really scary as a farmer, right? You're just like, ah. And actually there's people 45 minutes south of us that got 3 inches of hail this afternoon. So
that's scary stuff.
Like we need rain really, 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 really bad, but we don't need 3 inches of hail. So
no, that's some damage hail, man. That's like nasty.
Yeah. Like your crop is kind of toast, right?
Your cars are toast. Like it does some real serious like damage.
Oh well, yeah.
So okay, we got some people watching. Let me know, what's your weather? I mean, we're so varied right now, and you're not. I mean, you're far. You're northwest of me, but that's still quite a temperature difference for summer.
Yeah, it is. It's not supposed to be that cool right now, but oh well.
You know, it's funny because again, you're in Canada. I would expect temperatures like that for the southern hemisphere because they're in winter. Yeah, we're in summer underneath, flip flops. So that's crazy. I hope your pugs make. I have to tell you, my plants. I planted daisies. The poor things to have me as a person. Like I tried, but none of them are coming in.
Yeah, I kill a lot of stuff, and then stuff that I do have established. If it's a bulb, my dog will smell it when it activates and dig it up. And so I've had these really beautiful lilies over the years, and they've kind of migrated because he'll the dog will dig them all up, and then I'll replant them like 2 feet over or something, and like hope that they grow, and then they do. So
Oh, that's so
yeah,
good. No,
yeah.
I have no excuses at all. Mine are in like planters, like over my patio.
Well, that's hard because if they're not in the soil in the ground, then you need to water them really, really consistently. So, you know, there's an excuse for you. Because I don't water regularly, and I do kill a lot of plants.
I'm coming for you. As soon as I'm done here, I will water you. It's 101. They need water, right? I'm sorry.
They need shade. Oh, that would be horrible.
Yeah, they don't get much shade. The way
Yeah.
they use it. All right. All right. Fair warning. All right. I'm going to do better. I'm going to do better. I'm going to save my plants. All right. We're here for music. Okay. But you're a farmer out in Canada.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you
So,
growing? What are you growing?
well, we're growing mostly like cattle. And so we grow grass for them and other crops that they eat through the winter and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, great.
So,
Great. Now, I mean, you're a farmer, and it just kind of makes sense. It lends itself to Americana music. Um, did you choose Americana? Was it just kind of naturally where things went?
when I first started out, it was a few years ago, I was just like a solid country is what I would classify myself as, but it wasn't a very far jump to get into folk, and I feel like that's more where my music is right now. Like, I've been doing an album every year, and so I've kind of progressed along the way, and, I would put myself in the Americana folk category now.
Okay. Call
Yeah.
it the roots.
Yeah, like, my last album, I have, like, quite a few, like, tunes that are faster, and I would kind of put them in the bluegrass category too. So, it's just easy listening. It's all good.
Right. And it's funny, like you still have to call it something when you release. They
Yeah.
want a genre, radio stations still want to know.
Mhm.
The beauty of singles is you can say single by single, I'm releasing this folk, I'm releasing this country.
Yeah.
Where when you have an album and some of it's country rock, some of it's folk, some of it, you kind of have to categorize it as something.
Yeah, but I did that last year, releasing singles, and so I released my whole album. There were 12 songs, and there's 12 months in the year, so I released a single the first Friday of every month all year long, and most of them I even did music videos for all of them.
Oh my goodness, that
I
is
missed There was
hustling.
one in July that I didn't release, but I did the music video for it. It was beautiful, and I never got digital release copyright permission because it was a single. It was a cover of two songs that I mashed together. So I did "The Sound of Music" mashed with "Once More," the old bluegrass standard, and it was
Yeah.
beautiful. And so I have it on hard copy, and I got permission to print hard copies, but I never got digital permission. And my husband said, "You better not just put it out there and hope for the best, because I don't want to get our pantsuit off of us." And I thought,
Well,
I've tried so hard to get digital on that digital copyright, and I can't get it. So
I know DistroKid has gotten a lot better with that. They actually now walk you. Yeah, I agree, Billy. She is busy. That is ambitious to release all of that. All
yeah,
of
well,
that.
when I was kind of like feeling a little busy, I would do a lyric video instead of a music video. But I got some really nice, like through July and August is when I decided I was only going to do it for 5 months, Monday to Friday, January to May, and then school let out, right? And I was like, oh, it's so beautiful here, and there's so much greenery, and look at the fields. And then I had all these ideas for all the different music videos. So I filmed them all through the summer, and then I was editing them like September, October, just like finishing up to get me through the year, right?
Oh, you do your own editing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Uh-huh. I learned so much about editing last year. It was so fun. And then I had my daughter, like, she's like belly down on a red wagon, and she's got my cell phone like this, and I've got a rope over me, and she's filming my feet as I walk down this road right for the oh, I think it was the title track. And it was great. Like, I know I could have used what's it called? A gimbal, but
Yeah.
the battery was dead on my gimbal, and it was like charging, and it was like it's gonna take 2 hours, and the sun's in the perfect spot, and I just like, Susan, come with me. And we went down the driveway and filmed that. It was really cool.
That, who needs a gimbal when you have your daughter on a wagon? I mean, seriously.
Right?
I mean, come on. Where else
Yeah,
would it
totally.
work?
Yeah.
That's using the ingenuity. I love that. You're like me. I love shooting video.
Yeah, like talking about the music and the music industry and all the stuff, and I was like, ooh, I don't know what I like the most. I really love the solitude of sitting in my mummy chair and looking out the window and writing song. I love songwriting. I do everything out of a book. I do everything with paper and pen, well, except for like I'll record clips, right? And then I'll put on my paper, I'll say on cell phone on this such and such a day. And so I'm pretty organized that way. And then I
Oh,
really,
you are really, really organized. Like I have bits of paper everywhere. I don't even want to clean my dining room table off because I know there's a bit of paper that I'm gonna find and
you know
I
what?
had an idea for.
Go to an office store, like office supply store, and these I used to use them at my job, like before I quit working to have a family. And like these are awesome. They're so great because everything's chronological. If you're not sure, you kind of like, oh, I think it was like 7 weeks ago, and you flip back, and sure enough, there's some documentation there, right? And so I put everything there, and then once it's a real song, I'll like type it out and put it in a document online, and then I'll send these audio clips on my phone along with the lyrics and the chords. I send those to my studio that's 6.5 hours away. And he goes through them. My producer will go through them and kind of like give comments to each one. Or if he recommends like I should fix a couple spots or not. Some of the songs are just perfect when they get there, right? And then yeah, well I've been doing an album every year, and it's just been so great. So
Yeah. I
yeah,
mean, and that's great. Do you go to him once a year and just blow them all out at that point? Like you're just gonna record them all?
essentially, yeah, that's what I did it in March. I was there for 4.5, no, 4 days. I was there for Tuesday to Friday, and I think I sang 12 songs in 3 days, and then the fourth day I had my guitar player and fiddle come in, and I just kind of like supervised them. I didn't even need to be there really, but it was good. But the first day, I actually I made a post the first day at the end of the day of my studio time. I think I sang 3 or 4 songs, but you sing them like 6 times each, right? And
Right.
I call my friend after I'm done my supper, and I was like, you know what? I got to let you go. And I could feel my throat was like, you overdid it, Caroline. So I made this little Facebook video, and I was like, guys, it went great, but I don't know about tomorrow. And then the next day we got a late start, so I went to the luthier in the morning, so Paul, he could do a little bit of vocal editing to see if there were any places we had to do punch-ins.
Mhm.
And so I had a easy morning. I was drinking tea all morning, and I got my guitar tuned up at the luthier, and I came back. I didn't start singing till like 11 o'clock, and I think that saved me. And I sang from 11 to 5, and
Oh,
then the next day I got up and I just banged off like the rest of the songs. I couldn't believe it. I actually was shocked. I kind of thought, what if I have to come back in a month?
yeah.
It's not
That is
it's
a
kind of it's a big deal to travel that far, one, and two, it's a big deal for me to leave my family, right? Like,
yeah.
to say I'm leaving for a week, good luck.
Talk to for those of us who are listening and don't know the studio process. You might know we have to repeat ourselves, but I don't think you know how tedious it can be. Tell us about a punch-in.
Ooh, a punch-in. So you're in the studio and you have your headphones on, and then your producer will play the same line, and he'll just loop it. And you have to
Yes.
listen to the instruments and know when to come in. And sometimes that's easy and sometimes it's not.
Yeah, you sang the song 3 times, and he's like, "You know what? Everything's good. I don't like this line." And then
Yeah.
you'll do it again, and he'll like, "You know, everything is good, but I don't like the way you said this word." This
Oh,
is what it comes down
well,
to,
or
people.
sometimes I'm singing something and he's like, "You're not hearing me, or you're not hearing what's supposed to be saying. Let's go back to the click track and listen to that example." And I'm singing and I'm like, "Yeah, that's what I'm singing." He's like, "No." And he'll get his guitar and he'll play. He's like, "You need to sing these melodic notes like ding, ding, ding." And I'm singing ding, ding, ding or something like something so like it's so nuanced, like I'm not even noticing. And I'm supposed to be like, it's my castle, my sand castle I'm building, right? And I'm putting the window in the wrong spot or something. And he's like, "Psst, hey, artist, you need to sing a little better." And so, but that's why I like him, because he's comfortable to do that, and I'm comfortable to have him do that, and it's made a world of difference. I have a couple songs that I can actually pinpoint the way I say the word kintsugi in this one. I did a song about yeah, kintsugi art. It's
Mhm.
Japanese, like they get clay things and they smash them and then they put them back together, glue them back together, and they put gold in the cracks. And so I was wrote a song about how that's like our lives, like as people, we're just all hurt in some way, and I use art to make things beautiful even after they're ugly situations, right?
Right.
Anyhow, I said the word kintsugi and he's like, "Why don't you go up and then it'll sound more Japanese?" And I would never, I don't know if I would have come up with that on my own, like he's just it's the process of, like, I am a solo artist, and I'm really glad that I got this producer and get him to coach me a little bit, right? It really helps.
Caroline, let's listen to your first song up called Pine Bluff, and then we're going to talk about the relationship with producers again for our studio audience. Here we go. Oh no, we're starting with Look in My Eye.
Look
Oh,
look look me in the eye, love.
look me in the eye, love.
Yeah.
That's what we're starting with.
Okay.
Okay.
Look me in the eye, love. Tell me you're not scared. Scared of tomorrow coming. Draw me in close, love. Whisper that you'll stay and leave me never. Turn that engine over. It's time for me to go. Gotta keep on running. The steps are getting slower. Won't you match my pace? They're getting closer. That trail is calling. God knows where I've been. Soon the dust is in their eyes, and underneath their skin I'm flying free. Yeah, on the wind. Look me in the eye, love. Tell me you're not scared. Scared of tomorrow coming. Draw me in close, love. Whisper that you'll stay and leave me never. Look me in the eye, love. Look me in the eye, love.
And we are back on the ranch. We are brought to you by Blast Music 24/7, your one stop for indie artists. If you're looking for new music, you want to find your way to Blast Music 24/7. And if you are an indie artist, you want your music up on Blast Music 24/7 because they are really good to indie artists. It's a great platform to showcase network, and they're very good to their artists. So we are also coming to you from Plow Zone, which is in California. Our listening audience is also My Indie Radio in France. We always love our listeners. And we are everywhere you want to be. You can find us on Roku TV, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Podcast Addict, Amazon Podcasts. We're everywhere you want to be. So today we're now with Caroline Parke, and we just heard her song, Look Me in the Eye, Love. And for our listening audiences, they can't see the visuals. So it looked like a bank robbery, a period piece bank robbery, like a Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah. So I wrote that song after watching the Highwaymen movie. And so I don't really know about using the movie. I went to get movie clips online, and I couldn't find much of the Highwaymen movie. And then I didn't know about copyright, so I used the older version, the original Bonnie and Clyde movie.
Ah,
And
well,
so I thought, well, we'll see if they ask me to take it down, I'll take it down. But I thought it was pretty good.
yeah, Billy's a fan now, so Billy's watching. We have a couple
Awesome.
other people that could chime in if you're watching right now. But yeah, it's a fun clip, and I could tell, you're having fun when the way you had the juxtaposition of the video and you singing in the background, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I could see. Go ahead.
Well, that was the first video that I shot vertically, which I don't know how I feel about it, but I've always done my videos as a 16 by 9 YouTube standard, like TV standard. And so I thought, a lot of people are watching music videos on their phones nowadays. Like maybe I should. So I did a couple of my videos are vertical, but I don't think I really like it. But I feel like a lot of people do.
Yeah, because they always turn their phones. So I've stayed horizontal,
Oh yeah.
So I agree with Billy. I love the fiddle and the banjo in the background. I don't always like banjo, but that was well done and textured the song really nicely, I thought.
Yeah. I started going to these bluegrass jam camps, and I found some really good musicians there. And so I invited a few of them to play on my album. And yeah, my producer played the banjo actually. He's really great. And then we have Hannah Goa on fiddle, and there was a guitar solo by Howie Bergeron. So yeah, they've really elevated my music.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I was so nervous. I felt like a little schoolgirl when I asked them to play on my album. Like, if you didn't mind, do you have the time? Like, could you come to my studio? And I couldn't believe when they all said yes. So
That's amazing. You don't know if you asked,
I know. Well, this is the thing. You don't know. It's hard to have the nerve, right? But I've asked so many times, and people, they just keep saying yes. So I'm just getting more risky and risky.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
That's a fun way to collaborate and have people add to your music and like that.
Yeah.
And that's good. And your producer is working with them as well. And we talked before about, the role of the producer. They're there to elevate, that you bring you're trusting them with literally your child, your song, your music.
Yeah.
And, they're going to stop you and we're going to punch this in. I want you to go up here. And I don't know about you, but I've had some knockdown, drag 'em outs with my producer.
Oh, I've never.
Well, think what key should this be in? Well, I want it here. No. And
no, we do a lot of pre-work and pre-talk. And so, like, talking about being organized, like, I have all my lyrics and chords on Google Drive. I have like, everything's pre-talked about, like, the layout of every song, the repeats, the instrumentals. All the musicians have all that information too, the layout of the song and the practice tracks, like, 6 months before they even get to the studio. So I just make it really easy for everybody to know what's going on, and then it avoids any. I'm just trying to think if there was ever any heated conversation. Like, I don't think we
I mean, I have so much respect. We work really well together, but there are times when we're pushing and pulling and until things finally just fall into place.
yeah, and that's part of it, like, shaking the sand so it levels off, like, songs do that, right?
That is a great way to put it. You
Yeah.
know, you have to be on the same page with your producer, but sometimes that's not always going in quite the same directions and visions. And I love that shake the sand. I love
Well,
that.
we do it before we get to the studio because once we're in the studio, everything's already agreed upon pretty much.
Mm.
Like, I don't screw around, that's for sure. I'm not wasting studio time on that.
I know it's a waste of money, really.
Yeah, well, so, like, last time I went in March, I had 1 song, and, like, months before, me and my husband listened to all the songs, and I said, "I want you to rate them on a scale of 1 to 10." And so we both had our list, and we both rated the songs, and we both pegged this one song as a 6. And I said, if I'm gonna cut something, it's gonna be that song because I don't know how it's gonna work at all. If Paul has a vision for it, great, but if he's not quite sure either, I'm ready to pull the plug on it because it's a cool song, but it's just too complicated to do. And so anyhow, Paul assured me everything would be fine. Then we got into the studio and Howie was playing on his guitar and we're like, yeah, I don't think that's what we're going for. And he's kind of like, well, and so then he had to come into the couch area and we sat there for half an hour talking about it. And I was thinking in my head, I knew I should have just cut this song. But you know what? We talked about it for 30 minutes. 30 minutes of studio time. And Howie says, "Wait a second. Just let me try one more thing." And he went back, put on his headphones, and just did exactly what we wanted. Like, it was great.
Oh, I love when it comes together like that. I think the biggest push and pull that I had over a song, um, there was one line that he's like, it's not fitting. And I'm like, but I really like this line. And then he's like, well, I've got to figure out where it's going to go. And it actually changed the entire structure of the song by the time we were done.
I would be
And,
so uncomfortable with doing that in the studio. That'd be
and
crazy.
then we were on the fly with it. And it was just, it just kind of wasn't coming together the way we both wanted it. And it was going back and forth. And it turned out to be Queen of the Barstool two-step, which won 5 awards.
Wow, cool.
And it was one of those things I'm like, I don't even hear what you're saying. I don't even know where that line's going anymore. You got to put it back. And it was just like this back and forth,
Yeah.
And when it came together,
Well, I had this one song that was like a slow tribute to a friend that passed away.
Mm.
And in the studio, he said, "I know we have a scratch track, but I think instead of mourning, this should be celebratory." And he's like, "Why don't we double up the tempo and make it a bluegrass song?" And I was like, "Okay." Even though I was like, "But I've always sang it really slow."
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he did the bass tracks for it, and then the next day I sang it bluegrass, like, fast, and I'm glad I just went with the flow there and trusted his creative, intuition.
And then seriously, picking your producer is one of the biggest decisions you make it really as an artist. Because
Yeah,
they share your vision. You have to really be on sync with different things and be able to go back and forth and polish ideas.
yeah, for sure, yeah.
So tell me about Pine Bluff is coming up next.
Okay. Oh, that's a funny song. Like, I was trying to schedule a family road trip, and I thought, well, where would I want to go with the family, and where would I want to go on tour if I ever like made it big in the music business, right? And so I would like want to go through Missouri and Arkansas and down into like Virginia and oh, where else? I want to do Oklahoma, Kansas, like everywhere. I don't know. I just want to go all through the United States, right? And so I was looking at the map. I actually wrote that song on the same week. I wrote another song that started with P too, but anyhow, I was looking at the map and it goes from Branson, Missouri. There's a big water park there I thought my kids would like to go to, and then go down into Arkansas and there's Pine Bluff. And I was like, oh, and then it's Jefferson County. And I was like, isn't that cool? Because, well, I'm Canadian, right? And there are cultural differences, but there's a lot of similarities. And so I started writing this song. It was fictitious, about a trucker who trucks all over the United States, but always goes home to Pine Bluff where they don't have a spouse because the spouse died. And so it's kind of like, I don't know if it's a murder mystery or just like it's a very creepy. Actually, it was a really decent song. And then I interviewed a fiddler who lives in Arkansas, and I said, "What do you know about Pine Bluff?" And he's like a sheriff, right? He's like, "Oh, I transport prisoners from there. You wouldn't want to go there at night." And so then I rewrote. I subbed out half the chords and put in minor chords and made it super mysterious. And so some of the footage in the music video is actually from Pine Bluff too. And I got footage from YouTube of a trucker, like dash cam, going on that highway that I wrote about. Isn't that cool? Oh,
it's so cool. And there, I actually had on a show a few months ago a female trucker. And I'm like, and I saw this video, I'm like, is this my second female trucker I have on the show? That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, well, I got in my husband's semi and it was like plus 30. So that's like 85. And I had the windows rolled up. And so I rolled down the windows a little bit, but I was dying. And I sang the song I put on shades and a ball cap, and I had like a floss pick and trying to look like a trucker. And I sang through the song 3 times. And I think I got out of that truck and I was like, hallelujah, man, fresh air. Like it was so hot.
Oh my goodness. All right. Watch the hair go from like straight to normal as you go through different takes.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, maybe. Hey, I wonder. Well, anyhow, check it out. It's a fun video.
All right, let's watch Pine Bluff. You guys are listening, so we're listening to Pine Bluff.
Well, you're what I crave when I'm trucking for days. Behind the wheel, all the views don't compete. When I'm steering south through Saddlebrook and Branson, well, my heart's complete with the pedals under my feet. Pine Bluff, my heart's laid out. Remind me of you. There's no purity in their morning dew. They don't satisfy all of my senses inside. Now I just sit and drive and keep your memory alive. Pine Bluff, grass is so low, a long inhale. Out it goes, and now I'm home. Checkered pains, tragic tales that my sad life holds. In pine bluff, faintest breath, feel your soul just floating down pine bluff, my love. Long missing in Jefferson, you are my one beloved.
And we were back on the studio. We're back on the ranch. We are brought to you by Blast Music 24/7. We are spanning the globe to bring you the best in indie Americana music. We have our listeners in Paris with Indie Music Radio, My Music Radio, and we're out in California on the Plow Zone. Great. We love to have our listeners, our watchers. We're going live right now on 7 different platforms. We're also on Roku. We're everywhere you guys want to be. And tonight we're with Caroline Parke, and she just took us on a ride.
Wasn't that cool? Like, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I love that video. I think it turned out so good. I had so much fun doing it too.
Yeah, and for those of you who can't see it, there's some really cool effects in there, like a radio effect.
Yeah, like it was like some sort of distortions and stuff. And like the whole video is pretty much complete. And then I added in the graveyard scenes at the end. And I was like, ooh, that's the cherry on top.
Right. Oh, we got some comments. Our listeners are, Billy thinks it's well done. He likes it. I agree. It was well done. That's a
not bad for a stay-at-home mom, hey?
No, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
So, all right. We're going to be listening to one more. It's coming up. And you live on a farm. You're a nature person.
Well, you know, it's funny because I do love nature and I love not being I don't like going to the cities at night because they don't turn off the lights. So when you're trying to sleep in your bed, I find it really weird that they leave all the lights on all the time. So that's
What city are you in that they don't turn off the lights?
Like the street lights.
Oh, the street lights. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
right.
Like, and we don't have that. Like, we have a yard light, but we turn it off. Everything's dark. Like, it's dark. And I really like that. And so, yeah, I do like nature, but I don't leave the house as often as I should.
You know, it's funny. I had the opposite problem. I was working in a school as a counselor in Bergen County. It's 20 minutes from New York City. And we've had a lot of kids that would move from like Brooklyn to the suburbs. And they were afraid. You know, because there's no lights, they're hearing all the crickets and stuff, and it was freaking them out.
Wow,
Literally.
that's funny. Yeah, well, actually, at night, we have crickets and stuff, and then you can hear the packs of coyotes yipping, like there's 30 of them, and my husband's like, oh, there's only probably 3 or 4 there. But they're just beep, 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 and you can hear them, and you think they're close to the house, and they're not, but anyhow.
We don't have there's some deer running through the property, but and a lot of wildlife here, but
there's a big badger, probably like that big around, and they'll rip your dog to pieces. Like they're really vicious. We got lots of bears, got deer. It's pretty busy around here, and especially with the amount of corn that's growing around here, there's lots of bears, and you can't see them, and they could be like 10 feet from you.
When I was living in New Jersey, believe it or not, I was coming home from a show one night, and there had been some bear sightings in the area. I'm like, okay. Well, we think he had a den in our complex somewhere. So one night I'm coming home, and all of a sudden, all I'm seeing is this black mass crossing the street. And I'm like, oh my God, that's a huge bear. And he kept going, and he got to the other side, and he just stared me down as I passed him. Like, it was really kind of creepy. Like,
Yeah, that's dangerous when they don't run right away.
oh,
Because
this one was sauntering.
yeah, so he's been in civilization a little too long, probably.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. So there. So your next song,
What is it?
Little Bird.
Oh,
Hello.
hello, little bird. Oh yeah, good.
It's a cute little song.
You know, I wrote it on a spur of the moment, and I kind of thought it was a kid's song when I wrote it. But I pitched it to my producer anyhow, and he's like, "I think you're wrong about that song. That's not a kid's song. That's a really beautiful tune." And da da da. And so I had the Excel spreadsheet with all my performers, and Hannah, my violin lady, she wasn't slated to play on that song. And she got back to me and she said, I know I'm not on that song, but I really need to play on that song. And I was like, do what you need to do. If you're compelled, like that's like the best case scenario, right? Like I tell all my musicians, like if any song doesn't speak to you, I want you to walk away. And there's no questions, there's no hard feelings. I'll find somebody else. But I only want you to play on songs that you can truly feel, right? And so when she said I'd like to play on that, I was like, yeah, no problem. I'll put you on there. And I couldn't believe her fiddle, how you can feel the birds. So what happened was I was just slowing down to turn up my driveway. And so I'm on a range road or a township road, gravel road, right? And I I was going pretty slow, but fast enough that, I don't know what I was going in miles per hour, but whatever. These birds, a flock of birds, like little birds, went up. Half of them went over my vehicle and half of them went under. And I took my foot off the gas, like I was going to hit the brake, but it was over before I even got there. And I just gasped. And then I looked in my rearview mirror and there were no birds on the ground. So everybody was fine. But it just took my breath away. And so I went in the house and I was supposed to do something with my son, and we got out of the vehicle and I said, just go play. And I wrote that song in like 10 minutes. And it's such a pretty little ditty. Like it's what you would call an earworm probably, right? So
Yeah, it does stick with you. But that
yeah.
story is something out of the birds. Like they swooped in on you.
They did, and I know, like, they went you know what it's like when they come over your windshield like that? And then I
Yeah.
know that there was some that went around or under. It was just like, and then before you could even react, it was over, right? And I thought, well, geez, I hope nobody was hurt in those moments.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah. So
All right.
anyhow, it is a pretty simple song. Some songs take more arranging, right? And then there's songs like this that are like super straightforward. I submitted it to my producer. He's like, check. So that's
So
great.
yeah, it's a nice, sweet song. All right, so let's listen to "Hello, Little Birdie."
Hello, little bird. You tweeted and I heard, a picnic in the park, just south of the trees. Children throwing crumbs, all for you and me. Hello, little bird,
And we are back on the rant, brought to you by Blast Music 24/7. And if I have any indie artists, any Americana artists listening, and you want to be on the ranch, there's a banner going down below. You can just go to my website, Randie, Randie, O'Neill, ONEIL.com/shows. You can fill out an application just like Caroline did, and you can be on the ranch where we showcase the best in indie Americana music. So, Caroline, when I first heard that song, I was wondering if it really was a metaphor for something, freedom or a little bird, but it really is literally the little bird.
Yeah, literally, yeah. Yeah. And I don't know if you saw at the end, but there was like a thank you to these people, and those are all the people that supplied either photos or videos for the video. And so like the last scene at the very end when you hear the dog barking, that is some fans of mine from Kentucky submitted that video. So
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, it really is. It's so nice to just sit and watch my own videos. I never do that, right? And I kind of forget, and I'm like, oh, that was a great project.
Right, right. I was just looking at some of my older ones, and I'm like, yeah, that was really people dressed up for me, like, and we did some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
It's funny. People are like, oh, you'll never get people to be in your video, but I never have trouble. Like, you ask people, and they're like, yeah, like everyone wants to be be a ham and be in a video.
Yeah, there's some people that are hesitant, and then there's other people that wouldn't never say no, right? So it's interesting. I actually just got an opportunity to do a little mini TV series, and so I'm going to be hosting Songs and Stories with Caroline Parke, where I do like a little mini interview, 20 minutes with a songwriter, and then they'll do like 3 songs or something like that. And it's amazing. Like I invited 10 people and I have 10 yeses. So it's pretty
Exciting. Where can we see that?
it won't be on till like next spring, like March 2026. It'll be on Telus Optic TV, which is in Alberta and British Columbia, and then they'll also put it on their YouTube channels. So
Oh, how exciting.
yeah, I think anytime that you can like showcase other artists that you know admire, it's a cool opportunity.
I'll tell you, Mondays are the highlight of my week.
Are they? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You
'Cause
probably get to meet a lot of cool people, hey?
I do, and a lot of names because I belong to a lot of songwriting associations, and touring around, you meet a lot of great people. You hear different names, but you don't really always get to sit and chat with them
Yeah.
for a while. And so this is a wonderful opportunity. I love doing this.
Cool. And so how long have you been doing it for?
This is my 71st show.
Awesome. Wow.
So it says 70, but it's actually 71. I don't know. They misnumbered because last week was 70 and we had this little thing.
Oh, yeah.
But it is really kind of cool. We met at a networking event for the International Singer-Songwriters Association, and that's how it came up. And it was 2 summers ago. So
Yeah.
that we launched.
Cool.
So
That's neat.
yeah. So it's exciting. So are you still doing the 1 song a month? Or are we kind of out of that phase? Or
Yeah, we're not doing it per month. I did release an album this year, like January 2nd, I think I released a fiddle album where I wrote all the songs and then I had professional fiddlers perform them for me because I fiddle, but not that well. It's like a lifelong thing, right? And I've only been doing it for 9 years. And so that's kind of my 2024 album. And then I recorded an album in March and it's done. But I'm going to be releasing it next February or March. I don't really know when I'm going to release it, but I'm releasing a single July 18th. So I'll show you. Like I've released the album hard copy. It's called All the Moving Parts, and it's all about farming. It says celebrating the agrarian lilt in rural living. So it's so poetic.
it is. It is.
So yeah, the hard copies are released and available. But I've just decided to delay the digital because Because then people will actually buy your CD. And I've actually people say that they're going by the wayside, but I don't believe it. Like whenever I go out, I always buy CDs, and my kids hold them and they remember them and they put them on. So
Mhm.
I'll support. I don't think it's a waste of money to buy a CD.
I find, maybe it's our generation or whatever, people like that. It's a good memory of an event, of a live event, you
Yeah.
know, I find people still are buying.
Well, I had the first person, I said they were available, and some fiddler that I don't think I even really know. Like, we're Facebook friends, but I've never messaged with him or anything. And he messaged me, he's from Ohio. He's like, I'd like to buy a copy of your CD. And I was like, no way. And he got it last week, and he's trying to contact the local radio station to get a couple of the songs on, but they're all farming songs, right? And I got two instrumentals that I got recorded by an American fiddler and a girl here up in Alberta. And then I have another song. I got two songs that are featuring, well, that I have a special guest, Molly Mason. I don't know if you've ever heard of her. Her and her husband,
No.
Jay Unger. Jay Unger played a fiddle track for me on the one song called "Harvest is Long," and so it was a long day, and I just said to my kids, we should all write a song about Harvest is Long. And so I wrote this song, Harvest is Long, and then my Susan, she wrote a song called The Long Harvest, and it's a fiddle song, but we never got it recorded, so that's silly. I need to do that. And then my other daughter, Shirley, she kind of just opted out. But I think it's still on the radar. Like every spring, it's easy to write songs about planting season, and every fall, it's easy to write songs about harvest. So
Okay.
anyhow, Molly and Jay did a really great job. They're from what's it called? Woodstock, New York, or New York State.
Oh, I love Woodstock. In fact, I shot video. My first
Yeah.
video for Not That Girl, I shot in Woodstock.
Oh,
I love it.
cool. Well, they have the Ashokan Center. It's like a nature center where they do music appreciation. And so, yeah, I've been watching their lives every Wednesday. They go live since COVID. And like, I love them so much. They're so heartfelt. So
Fun fact about that town. When they
yeah.
do things, Woodstock, when they do um, Thanksgiving, they do it in a community center, and all the restaurants bring food, and
Oh, really?
the whole town just comes out. It's kind of cool.
Well, she sent me a picture of their big pot on their wood stove full of maple syrup.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
yeah. So you do a lot of recordings. Do you play live?
Yeah, I'm actually playing live twice this weekend, which is not too, I don't do it too often because I have my family and everything. But yeah, I'm going to play live Saturday night and then Sunday at noon at a market. Me and my daughters are going to go there. I don't play live a whole lot. But I do have my first real big gig this fall where I'll be opening for a famous Canadian in the big city. So that's cool through the folk club there. So that's kind of the extent of my. I like to do like songwriters in the round events with like
Oh, I love doing it around.
yeah, two other people, and then it's not all on me for 90 minutes, and then you have different sounds and you tell the stories, and they're just really wonderful events, right? So I'll be doing that Saturday night.
Oh, that's fun. You meet a lot of talented musicians that way, and get to share the stage with some talent. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah, and actually that's kind of how I meet people. Like I'll check out their socials and I like their music, and then I'll just say, "Hey, let's do an event together." And they say yes. And so then you get to learn about their music on stage live. It's not like it's pre-screened too much, and
Mhm.
just like the audience is learning about somebody, I'll be right along with them, right? So it's pretty
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot of fun. I have one coming up in August, um, in Nashville, actually, which is kind of cool.
Oh, wow, cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Are you going to the ISSA thing
I
in
am. Are you?
I'm still pending, if you can believe it. I have a hotel room available to me. I could bunk with this other girl that's from Alberta, but I haven't confirmed anything because it kind of like I need to see where the farm is at and all that stuff, right?
Yeah. For those of us who are listening, ISA is the International Singer-Songwriters Association. I've talked about them many times. And they are just so supportive of indie artists. You know, when the industry is, you know, trying to ignore us, you know, we've all kind of gathered together to support each other. And it's a wonderful, wonderful organization. And we really have learned that we're better together supporting each other than trying to compete against each other. It just doesn't work.
It's, you know what, I went there last year for the award show not knowing if I won anything or not, and I ended up winning gold. But I just felt like everybody that was there, I didn't feel like it was competitive. Like there were definitely people like handing out business cards and stuff, but I felt like it was a big celebration, patting each other on the back. Like it wasn't hostile in any way, right? Like not like I would have heard about Nashville. Like I've never been there, and I don't know if I would go. Like I don't even know, because then you're like the small fish in a big pond of sharks, right? And I'm like not into that.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is why it's such a cool vibe to have an organization like ISA. And I find the same thing. I love the networking and the meeting people. Last summer was my second time there, so this will be my third time.
Okay, cool. Well, if I go, I would be a presenter, so I haven't, like, it's optional, right? Because if you win gold, you're not eligible for 2 years.
Right. But it's an honor for you to be presenting.
Yeah, and I would love an excuse to go into the USA. Woo.
Go to the States, right?
Yeah. I just was in Montana, actually, like, for the fiddle camp down there. I took my daughter. It was so nice.
Oh, very cool. Well, maybe I'll see you in Atlanta.
I hope so, yeah.
Right now, if people wanted to find your music, where can they look?
Well, generally speaking, like if you want just music, like I'm on all streaming platforms pretty much, and as well as Bandcamp. If you wanted to purchase from me, I would really like the purchase to be through Bandcamp, because I get most of the money. Whereas if it's Apple Music or Spotify, it's like trickle, right? But either way, whatever works. Like I'm happy when people listen to my music, and if you're into visuals as well, like I post a lot of music videos and little shorts, updating people on little things that are going on in my life and how it all works in with the music. And so I'm on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, X, whatever you call it now. And YouTube is kind of my go-to place.
All right. So Caroline Parke, thank you so much for joining me on the ranch. It's really been a lot of fun having you here. Yeah. And when you have another album coming out next year, fill out the form and we could have you back in. And another great way to support artists for free is just follow and like us. We love that. And all those numbers count, guys.
Totally. They totally do. Yeah, you betcha.
Okay, we are here every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Back on the ranch. We will see you next week. Night.
Thanks a lot.
I'm on the road, don't know where it